So I'm talking to Yulia, but she's been treated in Ukraine, but the treatment, she's been discharged from hospital. She went back to hospital again for a little while, but the treatment hasn't proved very successful as far as her legs are concerned, and she's looking around various places to think where she could go. Looked at Israel, Russia, Germany, but you had been a student before the accident in Paris.
Exactly.
And you had an apartment there. Was it on the ground floor, nice and convenient?
It was the 6th floor, and before the accident I considered it a good exercise for your bottom, for your legs, and I liked doing my steps, and actually it was kind of forced.
So you made the decision to go back to Paris, which was fortunate because by chance you had got an insurance scheme which you had taken out in France, which you didn't realise initially how helpful that would be.
Exactly. Before the accident I was never dealing with the French medical system, and I really couldn't realize how far, how perfect it could be, and how can they reimburse all my treatments. So just in case, we spoke to all our friends who were running some businesses and who can afford this to extract some kind of some sum of money in order to help us. And so just in case, we had this plan B. If it will be.
So you went back to Paris with your mum or by yourself?
I was not able to do something by myself because I was so weak that any wind blow could make me fall down. We ordered the special assistant, the wheelchair assistants at the airport, and we went back to Paris with my mom.
And you arrived in Paris, and then you went to your local hospital, knocked on the door, and said, "I want some treatment." How did they say, "Come in"? What did you have to do?
It was also via some friends, because I didn't know even the addresses of hospitals. Right. I was absolutely not aware of this. And some of my friends had the same situation with his mom, and so she provided us the contacts of some doctor, some surgeon, and he sent us to the big hospital group, to his friend. As soon as I had an inflammation in my knee, as soon as there was a risk of infection, they required the full services hospital. And I would like to mention the name of my hospital because I'm really very grateful to it. It is Groupe Hospitalier de Pitié-Salpêtrière. It is in the 13th arrondissement in Paris.
And is that a public hospital or a private hospital?
It is a public hospital, and it is the oldest one. It is it has more than 400 years. And it started as a hospital for poor, but now it has become really the best, one of the best hospitals in France.
And it's different to the hospitals in Ukraine. Would you?
No comments. We can't compare it.
No.
It's just other universe.
So they took you on as a patient, and they treated you?
It was not immediately. So at that moment, my future surgeon, he examined me, and he let us have a rest for 2 months, 3 months even. because he wanted to be sure that there is no more infection in my knee. And you know, it is very dangerous to make surgery when there is some tissues infected. And also we were not aware that I could have some help. I could stay in a rehab center for all that moment. So for 3 months I was staying at my wonderful apartment at the 6th floor with 111 steps, and every time we needed to go downstairs, my mom also almost was carrying me on her shoulders. So you know, I was not able to walk on my left leg, and my right leg still has ligaments broken. So I really needed to be very, very careful. And so
you still have to go back for treatment, more treatment?
Unfortunately.
In Paris, you'll go back to Paris?
Yes. So I after coming back to Paris, I had 2 more surgeries. Generally, about 14 hours in operation block. And it is still not done because
your studies. What's happened to your studies? Your university studies?
Nothing. I'm not doing my studies. I spoke to the secretary at the university, and she's taking care of me. So previous year I just paid for the education because I thought that after the surgery I would be able to come back, but actually I couldn't, and so during the year I didn't study.
Something you also discovered too late, unfortunately, was that perhaps your visa card might have picked up the bill for some of these things, but you were too late applying for it.
For my visa, we did it according to the university. So I was aware how to do it, and I didn't know how to do it according to the medical treatment. So that's why I just paid for the year of the education, and we did the documents.
The reason I'm especially interested, because in Jersey the health service is up for renewal, reform, but we also have a lot of foreign workers from places like Romania and Poland, and sometimes they find that they can't get treatment here at the hospital service. They have to pay, go privately, and so on. So a lot of people here might find themselves in a similar situation. I don't suppose you've had any dealings with the local hospital at all?
At all.
Not at all.
First of all, I asked my surgeon how much I will owe you for the surgery. He said, "Do you have your insurance?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Do you have your mutuelle?" It is French kind of additional insurance, basic insurance and additional. I said, "Yes." And he said, "So don't worry, I don't take money." Me, I don't take money, so just...
No bribes in France then?
At all.
Not as far as you're concerned?
At all. I think they would consider it as an insult if I would propose. And afterwards I passed through the admission hall because I had to pay for the consultation and for the X-rays and for the MRI. And I just presented my papers, and they took nothing at all. It was kind of miracle for us.
Something, I mean, it's unkind to draw the comparison, but when you see pictures on television of Syria, and you see that the people there, and now you've experienced being very badly injured, do you think what on earth must they be doing for treatment out in Syria? And other places like that? Because The reason I'm thinking is that Ukraine is a civilized country. It's got money and they've got a hospital system.
Yeah, and it is not in a position of war.
Exactly.
So it's a peaceful time. So the question is,
What do you think? And now you've experienced this. Has this changed your view on hospital systems, the way hospitals operate? And when there is a war going on, or there's trouble in a country, or the economy has collapsed, do you think perhaps your perception might be different now? Difficult question, I know.
I just have difficulty to translate it in my mind. Going back in my memory, going back to Ukraine, I can't understand the psychology, the logic of our doctors who go into medicine and devote all their lives to this profession in order not being well paid, in order not being well treated, not being well respected. It is kind of people that we should build memorials in these countries, because actually I'm Russian by my nationality, and I used to live in Russia before, and the situation there is exactly the same.
Right. It is odd that you get people professionally trained, professional people. They're not stupid people, they're very intelligent people, and yet these things can happen, isn't it? It's very strange, isn't it?
Yes, and they are really very caring, and they take care of you for nothing, just like charity. And they never receive any benefits from their job, and so that's why people start bringing something for them, envelopes with some money, packages with everything they can take, because if not, the government, the state, the country doesn't take care of them.
Okay, we're going to stop there. A suitable warning for Jersey, but we'll stop there, and we wish you well, and when you're next in Jersey, maybe you'll tell us how you're getting on.